Member for Erie.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Mr. Deputy Speaker, when asked about the independent audit currently being carried out by Deloitte on the current Connect PNG program, the good Prime Minister said he would not stop the Connect PNG program even during the course of the investigations. My questions are quite brief and there's only fourfold to the good Prime Minister. Firstly, what is the running total of public funds expended so far on this Connect PNG program since its inception in 2019? Number two, would the good Prime Minister agree that there is suggestion that the cash flow shortage in the current budget implementation is caused by the Connect PNG program? And would the Prime Minister also agree that the cause of the decline in the MPAs or the minimum priority activities as referred to in the report tabled by the good Minister for Provincial and Local Level Governments, Honourable Soy Merapo Eoe, is the direct result of the irresponsible and careless spending into this Connect PNG program? And that is a report that is pertaining to the period commencing 2018 to 2022.
Honorable Member, we have a point of order. Member for Karamui. Mani, what's your point of order?
I think we have the Minister for Works and Highways in chamber today. This question relates to matters involving the Minister for Works and Highways. So it will be proper for the good leader for he required to direct the questions to the relevant portfolio minister. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Karamui nominee, Yurushim Yosidal make a ruling on your point of order. It is at the discretion of a member to ask whoever, if you want to ask direct to the minister responsible, he will ask. If you want to ask the Prime Minister, who is the head of the NEC or is the head of the ministers, and if you want to ask direct to the Prime Minister, it's at the discretion of who will ask the question. So I will allow the member to continue on with your question.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, for that enlightenment to the good member for Karamui Nomane. The final question, and so before I was rudely interrupted, Mr. Deputy Speaker, the report is for a period commencing 2018 to 2022, which is a period when or about the Connect PNG program was also introduced and has been aggressively implemented in this country. The question is, who is telling the truth? Is a report by the Provincial Local Government Department flawed, or is this economic cash flow problem a fallacy and it's a misunderstanding? Those are my questions, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Prime Minister.
All right, thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, for your stewardship over this session, and I appreciate the question put across by the member for Hiri. I want to also acknowledge our children, our students who are in the public gallery. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I want to, the three questions. Firstly, say that Connect PNG allocations is not over and above what was budgeted. We have under this government weekly budget management committee meeting that goes on every week. In fact, Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, the Treasurer chairs this meeting. And this meeting does allow for finance, treasury, planning, customs, IRC, and once in a while I do sit in this meeting to see how we are doing in as far as managing cash flow is concerned. So the Connect PNG doesn't eat into budgets for allocation for other key sectors. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I want to point all of us to Treasury's website, www.treasury.gov.pg. You got final budget outcomes of every year that is put out by Treasury, and for this year's or for last year's actual financial disbursements and our record. The Treasurer, sometimes next week, will be handing down the final budget outcome for 2024. Therein lies for everyone to see the expenditures of any year that governments does pass through.
We have a point of order. No member, what's your point of order?
The first question is very simple. Running total of the program thus far, from 2019 to today, there should be a global figure. And according to this program,
Honorable Minister, we have a point of order. The member is still.
the question is how much so far the people of Papua New Guinea have paid to this Connect PNG program to this date. As of today's date, what's the running total?
Honorable member, I understand the Prime Minister is just starting on with the reply to your question, and let's allow the Prime Minister to finish his reply. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I know the member for hearing is anxious to get the answers, but I am answering the second question, and I will come to the first question the way I want to order the response. The second question asks whether the Connect PNG allocation is eating into the fund for this year or as it was for last year. And so I'm prefixing my answer with information that should inform all of us in the country, because this is a question that brings into the mind of every citizen and stakeholder of our country and economy the ability of this government to manage its budget. And so I want to point to everyone, our final budget outcome 2023, our final budget outcome 2022, and henceback, and you can look into every year for as long as data is available. It goes back to governments of past. But our final budget outcome 2023, I point to that year especially, is an indication of prudency of how we manage our budget. Almost 100% delivery on commitments to our country in 2023. Now, Treasurer will pass the budget, final budget outcome for 2024 next week. And we are not ashamed to tell it as it is, what happened last year. And the country will know what happened last year. But to answer this question, I want to admit on this floor of Parliament, Connect PNG never ate into other fund allocations. Connect PNG consumed its own space. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. The Connect PNG Act says that governments going forward must allocate 5.6% of any budget to finance our roads in our country. And so within the envelope of budgets that we've allocated in 2024, Connect PNG program tried to stick to it. So Connect PNG never consumed other spaces. Connect PNG never influenced the underperformance of our revenue collection elsewhere. And I want to give full assurance to the member who asked the question that the running total of Connect PNG expenditure, I do not have it on my phone as I speak today. Information has been requested. Tomorrow, if not next week, Tuesday, when Parliament resumes, we will present to the floor the running total of all spending on Connect PNG thus far, so that the country is fully informed. The country is fully informed on the investment happening. Connect PNG may seem like a scam to some of you, but to some areas, road is going into areas road have never seen before. And so this is happening. Over the weekend, I drove through Gare and returned, and a good member for Iri knows where Gare is. It's my village as much as his village by adoption. I drove there. Whilst the road may not be world-class, but some little work is happening today. The last time I was there, road maintenance was passing through Tubusere. Today it's pushing through Barakau and almost hitting Gare as we speak. And that's Connect PNG at work, trying our very best to try to help all parts of our country, including the Hiri Koyari electorate. So we will give full report as to exactly how much was spent since Connect PNG Act came into place. So there's transparency in this one. And the Works Minister, in fact, has paper to present to this Parliament. In as far as the Works annual report is concerned, that paper also would sufficiently address some of the recurrent questions that surface in as far as Connect PNG is concerned. The investigation that is running is meant to assist the program. If the acts of impropriety established by this investigation, we will not cover those acts of impropriety. We don't want a good program that is intended to bring roads to all parts of our country to be tainted, if not hampered, by corruption or illicit practice. If it does happen, there is the intention why we call for, we ask or sanction an audit that is run by credible people outside of government circles. And I want to also confirm the MPA report that, or the report from the provincial and local level government department at the minister table is an indication on lack of section 119 reporting, and also made reference to section 114 reporting in as far as organic law and provincial and local level government is concerned. This reporting are basic reports that every administrator, and mind you, all provincial administrators have devolved section 32 powers of the finance secretary. So it's prudent. And same instruction has gone to all departments. Last night I was reading through the Auditor General's report that was tabled here. It is just not good enough when department heads are not reporting, and governors or ministers also get the blame of reports not coming. So the MPA is an indication of the generic lack of performance below all the systems that we manage. And I want to say part of this is us acknowledging where the problem is, and all of us stepping to work and bring the work up to standard as we speak. The MPAs, the rest of the sectoral funding has not been, we've not taken funding away from them and just finance Connect PNG. Connect PNG, what was budgeted for, we take from that and finance Connect PNG. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope the answer is sufficient.
We have a supplementary. The Honourable Governor for his speak.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and I welcome the commitment by the Prime Minister on these matters that require transparency. Just for, if he could also give consideration based on his response, there is one matter that still requires transparency on the floor, and that is in this report that he has indicated that the good minister is going to bring. Could they also include the total running value of the contracts into the future, and which years those contracts will become due, and the impact of those contracts on future budgets pertaining to the requirements of Section 209 of the Constitution? The second point, if the Prime Minister could give us a commitment, is I understand much of the funding for Connect PNG is coming out of Oktedi, is coming out of Kutubu, and it's coming out of Kumul Petroleum Holdings and a host of other companies in terms of tax credit. Could you also tell the House how much of Connect PNG is being funded through the tax credit scheme, and what is the impact, because you are taking out future revenue? Again, I remind you of Section 209 of the Constitution. If you could tell the House and give us some transparency. The other thing I would like to know is there a definition of which roads qualify as Connect PNG roads and which roads are provincial roads or district roads? Because the MPA covers provincial and district roads. So if either the Minister or the Prime Minister, based on his current undertaking, could tell the country which roads qualify to be funded under Connect PNG and which roads do not. Finally, the Prime Minister made a reference to the final budget outcome, and I've made mention before, Deputy Speaker, and since the good Prime Minister has given this House and the people of Papua New Guinea an undertaking, I'd like him to go further. In the 2023 FBO, a total of 980 million was moved from health, education, law and order, and a whole host of important sectors and paid to certain provinces. And that is clearly indicated in the 2023 FBO. Could the Prime Minister also give the people of Papua New Guinea an undertaking to bring a report to the floor that indicates which provinces were paid these funds and for what purposes? Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister.
All right, thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. These are important questions, and firstly, in response to the last question from the member for East Sepik, the report, as part of the need for him and all of us to know, will be brought to this Parliament, and I will give this undertaking. All spending of government is within budget. And I want to say to all members of Parliament and to the country through this question that no spending should be made outside of the budget, and in my view, considered view, no spending under this government has taken place outside of the budget process. In any case, the Treasury has Section 3 powers, but those Section 3 powers were used within considered measure and within the provisions of budget. All provinces allocation, some provinces have, for instance, Bougainville, Enga Province, Morobe, Hela, Southern Highlands, Western Province. Some of these provinces have budgets allocation labeled as IDG or constitutional grant. But those full report will be presented to this floor. It is a question asked and demands answer, and so I will extract the 2023 budget performances and present to this Parliament, if not through the Treasury and other relevant ministers, then through myself, so that the members of Parliament and the country can know how we spent in 2023. But in the case of those who really want to set quick answers, the final budget outcome 2023 is there for all of us to ascertain. But coming back to the Connect PNG program and the question whether we encroach on Section 209 of the Constitution, I want to say that the Connect PNG Implementation and Financing Act 2021 envelopes 5.6% of any budget year allocation to roads in our country. And so within that envelope, we have 3 phases of Connect PNG: Stage 1 or Phase 1, Stage 2, and Stage 3. All are running for the next 20 years. So if you look prospective into the future, there's an envelope of 5.6% of any year's financial allocation or fiscal allocation to finance Connect PNG going forward into the future. This government has taken a bold initiative, whether financing by ICT, infrastructure tax credit, or financing by deficit budget, or financing through budgets, or financing through securing loan domestic or externally. We want to open this country up with roads. No secret. Road is not for those who sleep and eat and operate in Port Moresby or urban areas of our country. Every citizen, including those who come from Kariku, my children sitting upstairs, so close yet so far. Few months ago I drove to York City, Yoka, so close yet so far. We sit back and cry and said, no, it's okay, it's okay. Or we borrow for tomorrow and build the road today. I am not a pessimist, conservative person. If my country is going to expand 10, 15, 20 years, I need to start the expansion today. A few years back, someone was criticizing, someone as smart as he or she, or he claimed to be, was criticizing the O'Neill government. And he said he will never drive on the flyway. Today he's driving on the flyway with no credit to Mr. O'Neill, who had the ability to borrow to build a road. My brothers, you can remain pessimist and see from a pessimist view.
Honorable Prime Minister, we have a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, no one's a pessimist about the Connect PNG program. our argument is the quality of spend. If you're in the business of giving contracts to ministers at the value of 247 million, it creates a question about the quality of spend. Bring the reports to the House and be more accountable.
Answers given by the Prime Minister, I would not allow for it, so I'll rule your point of order out of order. Prime Minister, you continue from your reply.
All right, I'll keep it short. The Connect PNG investigation is running. I look forward to the outcome of Deloitte's report. And the Deloitte's report will go through whether there were impropriety in the act of tendering, procurement, and the financial disbursements, and etc. Deloitte's report will point to us what has happened in the Works Department, Finance Department, Treasury, Prime Minister's Department, right through the clockwork of our government system. But one thing I must say, the country needs roads. And so we have secured 5.6%.
Respectfully, with great respect to the Prime Minister and his very long answer, my questions were very specific.
Order.
My questions were very specific. The Prime Minister said that next week they were going to bring a report to Parliament, and my questions were in relation to him making a commitment to bring those answers in next week's presentation, which he himself said would be forthcoming. And he's given a very broad answer. The question I asked was, could they also include the total contracts issued? 1. 2, how much of that is coming out of tax credit? 3, the 980 million that was moved out of essential sectors in 2023 to certain provinces, could he bring that report to Parliament? So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I think my questions were very specific, and I just need the Prime Minister to say yes or no whether that information could be brought next week.
Honorable Governor, your point of order was in order in what you have asked for. Let's allow the Prime Minister to complete the reply to you. Prime Minister.
So repetition is for emphasis, so he's taken a second bite in asking the same questions again under the cover of point of order. Mr. Speaker, these are important questions. The reports that he wants will be tabled in Parliament. Connect PNG is given within, Connect PNG is funded rather within the 5.6% resource envelope and has a prospective life. We're looking at a 20-year financing envelope and a combination of financing from ICT, from budget, direct budget support. All this is looked at so that at the very earliest we unbundle our country of being left behind and bring our country into connected with each other, especially in our efforts to get agricultural produces and our people out into the mainstream economy. So those will be given. I don't think we have encroached upon Section 209 of our Constitution as far as budgeting is concerned. It respects budgets and it has a year-by-year allocation based on the support it receives from the specific act that governs Connect PNG. I want to give full assurance that the report will come. And ICT project, ICT, the indication of tax credit. Tax credit is earning that revenue. Instead of waiting to earn the revenue every year, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, we're trying to earn that revenue earlier at no additional costs. The conventional, the opposite will be going to a bank, borrowing at 8%, 9%, 10% interest charge. Borrow this money, finance this road. We're trying to use our own resource envelope within and alleviate the tightness of budget and finance other sectors, and if areas that could be financed with ICT-based projects, then we finance based using ICT. Those full report will be presented to this Parliament so the country has a clear view on what's happening in works. It was in this context that we called for Deloitte and an international engineering firm to do that investigation. They're running. This year's budget for Connect PNG will be used to finance those contracts that has been lettered out, but all within full awareness that the investigator is running, and I look forward to the final outcome of this investigation. But the other details sought but the 2 questions asked from the opposition will be relayed to this Parliament, if not by myself, by relevant ministers, so that the country is better informed. Thank you for the opportunity to respond to these questions, important questions nonetheless for our country to know. Thank you.